have on the right-hand side Suzuna, who is going to be piloting the Emerald Amethyst deck. And I'm laughing because we were catching up with Henrik before the day started, and he was saying that there's no way he's going to be on stream. But look, when you wish it so, it happens.
We're already seeing that Henry already play the first card. Is an Olaf, and on our right hand side, Susuna is playing the
Royal Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about this matchup a little bit. Hey, so on the right-hand side, Suzuna here is playing the Emerald Amethyst deck. This is a hyper-aggressive variant of it. She's not playing the boost variant that we kind of saw a little bit of at the start of the Winter Spell season. And Henrik here on the left-hand side is playing your standard list of Amethyst Steel. These are generally really good anti-aggro colors because you're able to get rid of stuff with Strength of the Raging Fire. You're also able to get rid and kind of threaten the board with Calhoun. But this is the card that that makes Emerald Amethyst work. Enigmatic Incaster. Yeah. For the second card that you've played this turn, once you play a second card this turn, you're able to exert this card, and if you do, you gain a lore.
Yeah, but I'm with Henrik. He's having a Calhoun on the table. I mean, his ability with her resist and gaining extra 2 lore with while challenging banishing opposing character is try to catch up with the hyper aggro, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Henrik here just being able to get so much value from just Calhoun here. Suzuna did quest for 1, but that may have been a little bit of a mistake because Calhoun here just eats the Royal Guard for free because she also has resist 1. Henrik here going up to 3 lore right now. Quest with the Olaf, quest with the Calhoun as well, puts him on the board, the Cheshire Cat, and this cat had so much work in the previous game, right? Tell us, what does Cheshire Cat do?
Cheshire Cat have a boost ability, right? When he got boost, Cheshire Cat can move 2 damage counter from one character to opposing character.
And right here, Suzuna here playing the Cooper as well as the Mulan is going to be allowed to trigger the Enigmatic Incaster here. Gains 1 lore for the side of Suzuna. Cooper here, Mulan here, very, very interesting card. For every strength that she has, you are able to gain that much lore, right? To a maximum of 6 lore. So in her deck, she has a bunch of ways to increase the strength of these characters. She plays Merryweather, she plays the Hypnotic Strength. So these are all ways that you can just directly increase the strength of this Mulan, but unfortunately gets instantly taken away from the Strength of a Raging Fire. And that is definitely going to harm Suzuna's game plan.
But Suzuna got a Cooper in play, and actually she already knew about the Stormish Strange of the Raging Fire is coming, but it's not like Mowgli in Amber. Like the players have to discard their non-character cards. Yes.
Yeah, this one you just see the hand.
Yeah.
Right? So I think seeing the hand is just good to know what they're able to play. So Copper here doesn't really allow you to discard any cards, but just gives you the vision to do so. Here, Suzuna does play the Merryweather as well as the Honey Marin, so it gains the lore from the Honey Marin, and that is the second card that that Suzuna has played. So she is going to be able to gain the Ink Caster lore, and yeah, so here she should gain 3 lore because of the Honey Marin as well as the Ink Caster. So she should be at 5 right now. Henrik here just making sure that the right amount of lore is being tracked because, yeah, as you can see, the green-purple deck here has a lot of ways to gain instant lore, right? So very much a burn-style deck. And on Henrik's side, he's going to be pretty happy with Yzma on the field, being able to just constantly gain cards in his hand. Taps 4 for the Genie, is going to be able to draw another Strength of the Raging Fire. I think he's going to be pretty happy with that, potentially getting rid of something else like the Honey Marin. Potentially, yeah, there we go. Honey Marin does get taken out by Strength of the Raging Fire, being sung by the Cheshire Cat. I fully expect to see Calhoun here swinging into the Copper potentially waiting for the Mary Red to exert, as Copper only has 1 willpower.
Yeah, and but I mean, when you navigating the Emerald Amethyst deck, is doesn't mean you love to waiting for you love to keep playing cards, and it just matter your opponents how to challenging your own character, because you're mainly focusing on how to use the Incaster and try to gain more lore when playing cards on table. No matter it's an action card or a character card, it's just if you play both cards, 2 cards at that turn, you can exert the Incaster for lore.
Yeah, but hey, look here, man. Henrik here has a full board of stuff, and unfortunately, Suzuna's, I don't think, going to be able to keep up here. He has the Yzma, he has the Genie, he has the Cheshire Cat, he has a Calhoun, he has an Olaf, which hasn't left the board yet, and now he slams down another Captain Hook. I mean, look, on the board right now, he has a lot of 1-questers. Right, so he is going to be able to quest for, I believe, 8 next turn. So he doesn't really have lethal just yet, but he's going to be very close to doing so. Suzuna here dropping the lady, dropping the Game Preserve, and Game Preserve here, very interesting card in Winterspell, right?
Yeah.
I think for every evasive character.
If you have an evasive character in this location get evasive. And it's the new card from Winterspell, and it's only a 3-cost location, and with 4 willpower and 2 lore for each turn. That's insane.
But the problem here is Suzuna doesn't have an evasive on the board, so she's not able to actually trigger Game Preserve's evasive ability. And I think Game Preserve here is, the evasiveness of Game Preserve, as well as another evasive character from the side of Suzuna, is going to be a problem for Henrik to deal with, as I think he has, like Genie, he has Elsa, but not a lot of high-strength evasive characters in his deck who are also evasive.
Yeah, but still, Henrik can challenge the location with Genie and Elsa this turn and maintain the pressure on our Susuna, because the location have to on board.
Have to stay on the board.
Stay on the board.
Exactly.
Until the next turn.
Yeah, actually, I mean, look, Henrik here just questing with everything right now. He knows that game is in his sight. He knows he has lethal on the board. He also just draws into a Giant Cobra as well. He is going to use Elsa to swing into the Game Preserve. Game Preserve is just going to take 2 damage here. So this feels like a really one-sided kind of matchup here.
Yeah, because Henrik is already building the full control of the board, and I'm not sure Susune get any game-changing cards right now for this turn.
Yeah, I don't know what would save this game at this point for Suzuna. She does manage to play the Christopher Robin here for 1, and she is just going to pass. So Henrik here is just going to quest out, and that should be game number 1. Quest with everything. So that is game number 1. Henrik does extend his fist, going to game number 2. I mean, look, I think Suzuna here needs to really play to the strength of her deck, right? She needs to be able to play the cards which actually matter on her turn. So I want to see some of the combos happening, right? I want to see, for example, the Game Preserve come out when her evasives come out. So I believe she plays Todd. No, Todd does not have evasive, but Vixie, I think, has evasive, right?
Yeah.
So if she plays the Game Preserves, I want to see an evasive card on the board, right? If she plays something like that Enigmatic Incaster, I want to see her drop that as the second card, right? These are things which the burn deck is notorious for doing. It's for using some of these small little combos where she gets so much advantage, so much instant lore that it outpaces her opponent. Unfortunate for her, though, she's against Purple Steel.
Yeah, this the toughest matchup, I mean, for the green-purple deck, because so much on the play effects for the characters from the Amethyst, and still that. So it's a tough matchup, and I do agree with you about the game playing strategy for Susuna, because when you're placing Incaster on board, you have to maintain at least 2 cards to play and try to get extra lore. And if I am the Amethyst Emerald player, I won't mind giving one turn for a empty turn to draw at least 2 cards in my hand
Yeah.
and place it
Yeah.
next turn.
For sure, man. I mean, look, I feel like her game plan, her game strategy should be tweaked a little bit, and I do want to see that in game number 2. Hopefully, we will get to a game number 3. You know, I think this deck is a really, really cool deck, and there's so many different ways for you to, you know, kind of cheat out your win, right? By catching your opponent off guard, right? For example, if she plays that Mulan, if the Mulan sticks on the board, you know, just playing something like a double Hypnotic Strength and as well as a Merryweather will get her to 5 Strength, which will allow her to quest for 5, which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, but I'm curious about whether Amethyst Emerald should we adding the Pocahontas into her deck, right? Because
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like that variant is slightly different, right? Because if you do give what's that? If you do play that version, you're gonna play something like the Genie Magical Researcher, which will let you have just so many different ways for you to gain more lore with Pocahontas, right?
Yeah.
So that version of Green Purple is slightly different, and hopefully, we will see something happen here for game number 2. I believe both players are just getting set up, getting ready to go. And yeah, I mean, look, Green Purple, very, very exciting deck, very, very cool deck. And we are, I think, going to start things off here. We see the players just going to be cutting the decks. And yeah, so let me talk about Purple Steel for just a bit, right? I think this version of Purple Steel is very similar to what we saw in game number 1. It's quite a straightforward list. You've got Benjas, you've got Lexingtons, you've got Angels, you've got Fire to Cannons. We have Strength of a Raging Fire as well. Just so many different removal tools, right? Which is unfortunate for the Green-Purple player, not what you want to see. But you also have just really good units. You've got Genies, you've got Elsas, which is your standard evasive package. Actually, I noticed that they're opting. Oh no, sorry. Okay, they're also playing some Dumbos as well. I was gonna say, not playing Dumbos here is kind of crazy, but yeah, here we go. So go straight into game number 1. Interestingly, here, Suzuna does manage to ink one and she just passes. Henrik here does have Christopher Robin with the Underdog ability, which is a new ability that we've seen in Winterspell, which kind of gives some advantage to player number 2. The player starting second, which is nice to see. And starting out right off the bat with the Christopher Robin feels so good for Henrik.
Yeah, with the free will power and 2 lore caster, Christopher Robin is going to get at least maybe 2 to 4 lore in the future turns.
I mean, look, at this point, he's going to get 4 lore instantly. He is also going to be dropping a Palace Guard as well as an Olaf, going extremely wide and just basically pressuring what Suzuna can do. You know, here you definitely don't want to put Calhoun down because you don't see any characters for the side of Suzuna. You don't mind just dropping characters so you can just keep turning your cards so you can just keep getting more and more and more lore. Right, for the side of Suzuna, she needs to be able to do 2 1-drops or 1 2-drop and 1 1-drop so that she can trigger this Inkcaster. We are going to see Strike a Good Match being put in the Inkwell. That's 3 ink for Suzuna. Looking at what she has in her hand. We are going to see the Christopher Robin come down for her side as well. I do expect to see a 1-drop come down so she can turn that Inkcaster. Unfortunately, not able to do so here. Just passes, and Henrik here has a absurd advantage. He has Calhoun in his hand as well. This is going to be the perfect turn to kind of drop that card down because now with the Christopher Robin down, you know, he's going to prevent Suzuna from questing with the Robin with Christopher, because if you do so, then you have a potential to just lose out on the trade and give your opponent 2 lore.
Yeah, there's a free trade with Calhoun for the Christopher Robin, and like we said before, we expected every time when you already placing the Inkcaster on table, we expect you have at least 2 cards to play on that turn to try to trigger the Inkcaster ability, right? So I'm not sure Suzuna what's card in Suzuna's hand, but when we thought about the deck list, we definitely understand it. There's multiple 1-drop, 2-drops in her hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, look here. She is going to be playing the Clarabelle Here, Clarabelle used to get rid of items, but here drops the Clarabelle, drops the second Incaster here, so she will be able to gain 2 lore from both Incasters, because that second Incaster is considered as the second card. So we do see 2 lore being gained from the Christopher Robin, 1 lore being gained from the first Incaster. She should be able to turn the second Incaster, but chooses not to.
Yeah, but remember that item is not like character. Character need to be dry for one turn, right? But for the item, it's you can exert it for ability when you play the item on the table. So maybe a little slightly misplay for Susuna for this turn. But we see the Calhoun is already challenging the Susuna's Christopher Robin for extra 2 lore for Calhoun. And playing Dog to reveal Henrik's hand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much going to happen here. We are seeing the Fire Cannons come down. We are seeing Clarabelle get taken out here for the side of Henrik. Henrik is just going to be turning here. He is going up another 5 more lore. It is going to 11 lore right now, and I think that is just going to be a game, I believe. I don't think there's much that Suzuna here can actually come back from this, right? It's just a little bit rough to watch.
Yeah, but the Amethyst still is already built her board, about his board, and Suzuna just plays Christopher Robin and Scrooge McDuck on table, and it should be triggered to Incaster this turn for 2 lore.
Yeah, so here Scrooge McDuck gets played, needs to trigger his ability. So on play, you are able to draw a card and discard a card from your hand. So yeah, she is just gonna draw and discard the Merryweather from her hand here. Gonna be able to trigger the 2 Incasters so for 2 more lore, so it brings her up to 5. And I think that's just gonna
be the game. Yeah, because Henry already got 7 lore on table.
Yeah, so he here just readies up all his characters. Gonna be drawing one. He's gonna be drawing a dock, so he can't play the dock if he wants to. But he's gonna be questing Christopher Robin, Palsgard, Olaf, Calhoun, and Doc, and that is just gonna be game. Unfortunately, that is game number 2. So congratulations to Henrik for winning this game. And that was a really fast match. He just blitzed through 18 minutes of gameplay, and that's what Green Pearl does.
Yeah. For Susuna, I mean, the Amethyst Emerald should be a good deck to try to gain lore as fast as you can.